6th Standard, Term 3, Unit 3, The Age of Empires, Guptas and Vardhanas. Introduction. By the end of the 3rd century AD, the powerful empires established by the Kushanas in the north and Satavahanas in the south had lost their greatness and strength. After the decline of Kushanas and Satavahanas, Chandragupta carved out a kingdom and established his dynastic rule, which lasted for about 200 years. After the downfall of the Guptas and thereafter an interregnum of nearly 50 years, Harsha of Vardhana dynasty ruled North India from 606 to 647 AD. Sources. Archaeological sources. Gold, silver and copper coins issued by Gupta rulers. Allahabad pillar inscription of Samudragupta. The Mehruli iron pillar inscription. Udayagiri cave inscription. Mathura stone inscription and Sanchi stone inscription of Chandragupta II. Bithari pillar inscription of Skandagupta. The Gadwa stone inscription. Madhuban copper plate inscription, Punjab. Sonpat copper plate. Nalanda inscription on clay seal. Literary sources. Vishnu, Matsya, Vayu and Bhagavata Puranas and Niti Sastra of Narada. Vishakadatta's Devi Chandraguptam and Mudrakshasa and Banas Harshacharita. Dramas of Kalidasa. Accounts of Chinese Buddhist monks Fa Hin who visited India during the reign of Chandragupta II. Harsha's Ratnavalli Nagananda Priyadarshika. Yonsang's Siyuki. Foundation of the Gupta dynasty. Sri Gupta is considered to be the founder of the Gupta dynasty. He is believed to have reigned over parts of present-day Bengal and Bihar. He was the first Gupta ruler to be featured on coins. He was succeeded by his son Ghatotkacha. Both are mentioned as Maharajas in inscriptions. Chandragupta I, 319 to 335 AD. Chandragupta I married Kumaradevi of the famous and powerful Lichavi family. Having gained the support of this family, Chandragupta could eliminate various small states in northern India and crown himself the monarch of a larger kingdom. The gold coins attributed to Chandragupta bear the images of Chandragupta Kumaradevi and the legend Lichavaya. Samudragupta 335 to 380 AD. Samudragupta, son of Chandragupta I, was the greatest ruler of the dynasty. The Prayug Prashasti, composed by Samudragupta's court poet Harisena, was engraved on Allahabad pillar. This Allahabad pillar inscription is the main source of information for Samudragupta's reign. Consolidation of Gupta dynasty. Samudragupta was a great general, and when he became emperor, he carried on a vigorous campaign all over the country and even in the south. In the southern Pallava kingdom, the king who was defeated by Samudragupta was Vishnukopa. Samudragupta conquered 9 kingdoms in northern India. He reduced 12 rulers of the southern India to the status of feudatories and forced them to pay tribute. He received homage from the rulers of East Bengal, Assam, Nepal and the eastern part of Punjab and various tribes of Rajasthan. Chandragupta II, 380 to 415 AD. Chandragupta II was the son of Samudragupta. He was also known as Vikramaditya. He conquered western Malwa and Gujarat by defeating the Saka rulers. He maintained friendly relationship with the rulers of southern India. The iron pillar near Qutub Minar is believed to have been built by Vikramaditya. Fa Hin, a Buddhist scholar from China, visited India during his reign. Vikramaditya is said to have been assembled the greatest writers and artists, Navaratna, 9 jewels, in his court. Kalidasa is said to be one among them. Navaratna in the court of Vikramaditya. Kalidasa, Sanskrit poet. Harisena, Sanskrit poet. Amarasimha, lexicographer. Dhanvantri, physician. Kaha Panaka, astrologer. Sanku, architect. Varaha Mihira, astronomer. Varauchi, grammarian and Sanskrit scholar. Vital Bhatta, magician. Chandragupta too was succeeded by his son Kumaragupta I, who built the famous Nalanda University. Kumaragupta's successor Skandagupta had to face a new threat in the form of invasion of Huns. He defeated them and drove them away. But after 12 years, they came again and broke the back of the Gupta Empire. The last of the great Gupta was Baladitya, assumed to have been Narasimha Gupta I. He was himself attracted towards Buddhism. He was paying tribute to Mihirakula but was distressed by his hostility towards Buddhism. So he stopped paying tribute. Though Baladitya succeeded in imprisoning him, Mihirakula turned treacherous and drove away Baladitya from Magadha. After Baladitya, the great Gupta Empire faded away. The last recognized king of the Gupta Empire was Vishnugupta. Gupta polity. The divine theory of kingship, the concept that king is the representative of God on earth and so he is answerable only to God and not to anyone else, was practiced by the Gupta rulers. The Gupta king wielded enormous power in political, administrative, military and judicial spheres. The Gupta king was assisted by a council of mantris, minister. The council consisted of prince, high officials and feudatories. A large number of officials were employed by the Gupta rulers to carry on the day-to-day administration of the country. High-ranking officials were called Dandanayakas and Mahadandanayakas. The Gupta Empire was divided into provinces known as Deshas or Bhuktis. They were administered by the governors designated as Uparikas. The provinces was divided into districts such as Vishyas and they were controlled by the officers known as Vishyapatis. At the village level, there were functionaries such as Gramika and Gramadyaksha. The extensive empire shows the important role of military organization. Seals and inscription mentioned military designations as Baladikrita and Mahabaladikrita, commander of infantry and cavalry respectively. The system of espionage included spies known as Dutakas, society and economy, land and peasants. Nitisara, authored by Kamandaka, emphasizes the importance of the royal treasury and mentions various sources of revenue. The military campaigns of kings like Samudragupta were financed through revenue surpluses. Land tax was the main revenue to the government. The condition of peasants were pathetic. They were required to pay various taxes. They were reduced to the position of serfs. Trade and commerce. The contribution of the traders for the development of Gupta's economy was very impressive. There were two types of traders, namely Shreshti and Sartavaha. Trade items ranged from daily products to valuable and luxury goods. The important trade goods were pepper, gold, copper, iron, horses, and elephants. Lending money at a high rate of interest was in practice during Gupta period. The Guptas developed roadways connecting different parts of the country. Pataliputra, Ujjain, Benares, Mathura were the famous trade centers. Ports in western Kalyan, Mangalore, Malabar, and eastern Tampralipti in Bengal coasts of India facilitated trade. Metallurgy. Mining and metallurgy were the most flourishing industries during the Gupta period. The most important evidence of development in metallurgy was the Mehrali iron pillar installed by King Chandragupta in Delhi. This monolithic iron pillar has lasted through the centuries without rusting. Society. The society that adhered to four Varna system was patriarchal. According to laws of Manu, which was in force, women should be under the protection of their father, husband, or eldest son. Polygamy was widely prevalent. The kings and feudatory lords often had more than one wife. Inscriptions referred to Kubirnaga and Dhruba Swamini as the queens of Chandragupta II. Sati was practiced during the Gupta rule. Slavery. Slavery was not institutionalized in India, as in the West, but there are references to the existence of various categories of slaves during the Gupta age. Religion. There was revival of Vedic religion and Vedic rites. Samudragupta and Kumaragupta I performed Ashwamedha Yajna, a horse sacrifice ritual. We notice the beginning of image worship and the emergence of two sects, namely Vaishnavism and Saivism, during the Gupta period. Buddhism also continued to flourish, though it split into two sects, namely Hinayana and Mahayana. Art and architecture. The Guptas were the first to construct temples, which evolved from the earlier tradition of rock-cut shrines. Adorned with towers and elaborate carvings, these temples were dedicated to all Hindu deities. The most notable rock-cut caves are found at Ajanta and Ellora, Maharashtra, Bhag, Madhya Pradesh, and Udayagiri, Odisha. The structural temples built during this period resembles the characteristic features of the Dravidian style. Two remarkable examples of Gupta metal sculpture are a copper image of Buddha about 18 feet high at Nalanda and Sultanganj Buddha 7.5 feet in height. The most important examples of the Gupta paintings are found on the fresco of the Ajanta caves and the Bagh cave in Gwalior. Literature. Though the language spoken by the people was Prakrit, the Guptas made Sanskrit the official language and all their epigraphic records are in Sanskrit. The Gupta period also saw the development of Sanskrit grammar based on the grammar of Panini and Patanjali, who wrote Ashtadhyayi and Mahabhashya respectively. A Buddhist scholar from Bengal, Chandragomya, composed a book on grammar titled Chandravya Karanam. Kalidasa's famous drama were Shakuntala, Malavika Agnimitra, and Vikramorvashyam. Other significant works of Kalidasa were Meghaduta, Raghuvamsa, Kumarasambhava, and Ritu Samhara. Mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. Invention of zero and the consequent evolution of the decimal system were the legacy of Guptas to the modern world. Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, and Brahmagupta were foremost astronomers and mathematicians of the time. Aryabhatta, in his book Surya Siddhanta, explained the true causes of solar and lunar eclipses. He was the first Indian astronomer to declare that the earth revolves around its own axis. Dhanvantri was a famous scholar in the field of medicine. He was a specialist in Ayurveda. Charaka was a medical scientist. Susruta was the first Indian to explain the process of surgery. Vardhana dynasty. The founder of the Vardhana or Pushyabhutiya dynasty ruled from Thanishwar. Pushyabhutiya served as a military general under the Guptas and rose to power after the fall of the Guptas. With the accession of Prabhakara Vardhana, the Pushyabhutiya family became strong and powerful. Rajavardhana, the eldest son of Prabhakara Vardhana, ascended the throne after his father's death. Rajavardhana's sister Rajashri's husband, Raja of Kannauj, was killed by the Gauda ruler Sasanka of Bengal. Sasanka also imprisoned Rajashri. Rajavardhana, in the process of retrieving his sister, was treacherously killed by Sasanka. This resulted in his younger brother Harshavardhana becoming king of Thanishwar. The notables of the Kannauj kingdom also invited Harsha to take its crown. After becoming the ruler of both Thanishwar and Kannauj, Harsha shifted his capital from Thanishwar to Kannauj. Conquests of Harshavardhana. The most popular king of the Vardhana dynasty was Harshavardhana. Harsha ruled for 41 years. His feudatories included those of Jalandhar, Kashmir, Nepal, and Vallabhi. Sasanka of Bengal remained hostile to him. It was Harsha who unified most of the northern India, but the extension of his authority in the south was checked by Chalukya king Pulikesin II. The kingdom of Harsha disintegrated rapidly into small states after his death in 648 AD. He maintained a cordial relationship with the rulers of Iran and China. Administration. The emperor was assisted by a council of ministers. The prime minister occupied the most important position in the council of ministers. Bhaga, Hiranya, and Bhali were the three kinds of tax collected during Harsha's reign. Criminal laws was more severe than that of the Gupta age. Life imprisonment was the punishment for violation of the laws and for plotting against the king. Perfect law and order prevailed throughout the empire. Harsha paid great attention to discipline and strength of the army. Harsha built charitable institutions for the stay of the travelers and to care for the sick and the poor. Religious policy. Harsha was the worshipper of Shiva in the beginning, but he embraced Buddhism under the influence of his sister Rajashri and the Buddhist monk and traveler Hyeonsang. He belonged to Mahayana school of thoughts. Harsha treated Vedic scholars and Buddhist monks alike and distributed charities equally to them. He was the last Buddhist sovereign in India. As a pious Buddhist, Harsha stopped the killing of animals for food. He was noted for his policy of religious toleration and used to worship the images of Buddha, Shiva, and Sun simultaneously. He summoned two Buddhist assemblies, one at Kannauj and another at Prayag. Art and literature. Harsha, himself a poet and dramatist, gathered around him a best of poets and artists. Harsha's popular works are Ratnavalli, Nagananda, and Priyadarsika. His royal court was adorned by Bhanabhata, Mayura, Hardata, and Jayasena. Temples and monasteries functioned as center of learning. Kannauj became a famous city. Harsha constructed a large number of viharas, monasteries, and stupas on the bank of the Ganges. The Nalanda University, a university and monastery combined, was said to have had 10,000 students and monks in the residence when Yeonsang visited the university. Glossary. Engraved, carved, or inscribed. Flattered, lavish insincere praise and compliments upon someone, especially to further one's own interest. Collapse, fall, pathetic, pitiful, adhered to, abide by, bound by. Pastoral land, land or farm used for grazing cattle. Portrayed, depicted in a work of art or literature. desolated, made unfit for habitation. Licchavi was an old Ghana Sangha and its territory lay between the Ganges and the Nepal Terai. Prashasti. Prashasti is a Sanskrit word meaning commendation or in praise of. Court poets flattered their kings, listing out their achievements. These accounts were later engraved on pillars so that the people could read them. Samudragupta was a devotee of Vishnu. He revived the Vedic practice of performing horse sacrifice, performed by kings to prove their imperial sovereignty. He issued gold coins, and in one of them he portrayed playing harp, Vinay. Samudragupta was not only a great conqueror but a lover of poetry and music, and for this he earned a title Kaviraja. Sri Meghavarman, the Buddhist king of Ceylon, was a contemporary of Samudragupta. The surnames of Chandragupta too were Vikramaditya, Narendra Chandra, Simha Chandra, Narendra Simha, Vikrama Devaraja, Devagupta, and Devashri. Fahin. During the reign of Chandragupta II, the Buddhist monk Fahin visited India. His travel accounts provided us information about the socio-economic, religious, and moral condition of the people of the Gupta age. According to Fahin, the people of Magadha were happy and prosperous, that justice was mildly administered, and there was no death penalty. Gaya was desolated. Kapilavastu had become a jungle, but at Pataliputra people were rich and prosperous. Classification of land during Gupta period. Kshetra, cultivable land. Khila, waste land. Aprahata, jungle or forest land. Vasti, habitable land. Gapata Saraha, pastoral land. Nalanda University. Nalanda University flourished under the patronage of the Gupta Empire in the 5th and 6th centuries and later under Emperor Harsha of Kannauj. At Nalanda, Buddhism was the main subject of study. Other subjects like yoga, Vedic literature, and medicines were also taught. Hyeonsung spent many years studying Buddhism in the university. 8 Mahapatasalas and 3 large libraries were situated on the campus. Nalanda was ravaged and destroyed by Mameluks, Turkish Muslims under Bakhtiyar Khilji. Today it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Who were the Huns? Huns were the nomadic tribes who, under their great Attila, were terrorizing Rome and Constantinople. Associated with these tribes were the White Huns who came to India through Central Asia. They undertook regular invasions and were giving trouble to all Indian frontier states. After defeating Skandagupta, they spread across central India. Their chief, Toramana, crowned himself as king. After him, his son Mihirakula ruled the captured territories. Finally, Yashodharman, the ruler of Malwa in central India, defeated them and ended their rule. Shreshti Sartavaha. Shreshti traders usually settled at the standard place. Sartavaha traders were caravan traders who carried their goods to different places. Samudragupta introduced the Gupta monetary system. Kushana coins provided inscriptions to Samudragupta. The Gupta gold coins were known as Dhinnara. Guptas issued many gold coins but comparatively fewer silver and copper coins. However, the post-Gupta period saw a fall in the circulation of gold coins, indicating the decline in the prosperity of the empire. Guptas. The metals used by them were iron, gold, copper, tin, lead, brass, bronze, bell metal, mica, manganese, and red chalk. Harsha met the Chinese traveler Hyeonsung at Khajangala near Rajmahal, Jharkhand for the first time. Yonsong, the Prince of Pilgrims, visited India during Harsha's reign. His Siyu Key provides detailed information about the social, economic, religious, and cultural conditions of India during Harsha's time. Yonsong tells us how Harsha, though a Buddhist, went to participate in the great Kumbh Mela held at Prayag. The assembly at Kannauj was attended by 20 kings. A large number of Buddhist, Jain, and Vedic scholars attended the assembly. A golden statue of Buddha was consecrated in the monastery, and a small statue of Buddha, 3 feet, was carried in a procession. In the assembly at Prayag, Harsha distributed his wealth among the Buddhist, Vedic scholars, and poor people. Harsha offered fabulous gifts to the Buddhist monks on all the 4 days of assembly. Elsewhere, Chandragupta I was the contemporary of Constantine the Great, the Roman emperor who founded Constantinople. Harsha's time coincided with the early days of Tang dynasty of China. Their capital, Xi'an, was a great center of art and learning.